Well, I mean, it's going to be a propaganda speech, and I don't use that term propaganda negatively. It's just going to be, here's my guy or gal, and this is why they're the greatest guy and gal in the world to serve on the Supreme Court. So we all know that. I believe that at everything that President Trump does, he's an eye on, I got to get as many people behind me as I can, and no matter what the issue is, I'm going to tailor it to them rather than speaking to the whole country. Again, I'm not saying this in a negative way because he has to deal with circumstances that are unique in the sense that allied against him are the media and a Democratic Party who will not cooperate on anything. All right? So no matter who President Trump nominates tonight, could be Jesus coming back down, the Democrats would oppose, because it's not about the country anymore. It's personal, about destroying the other side. So that's what we're looking at.
Hey, Bill, that's a great point. Rally your base, because no matter what, and I think I've heard you say this before, no matter who he picks, it's going to be a brawl. The Democrats are going to be all in to oppose, correct?
Doesn't matter who it is or what he or she has done, what kind of people they are, it doesn't matter. The word has gone out from Nancy Pelosi and Senator Charles Schumer that if you're a Democrat and you support Donald Trump's nominee for the Supreme Court, you will not get any money when you run for re-election. In fact, the Democratic Party will oppose you in a primary situation. So it's a threat. There are maybe 3 Democrats in the Senate, which of course votes on the Supreme Court justices, that could be persuaded. Manchin of West Virginia, Heidi something Camp of North Dakota, Height Camp, and maybe one other, Tester maybe in Montana. But that's it. So the president will come on, he'll try to rally his base to his nominee tonight, and he'll be successful.
So, Bill, I wasn't going to ask you this, but maybe now I will ask you this. Maybe not a prediction, but per your logic of someone who will excite the base, do you have a horse among the 4 of them who might do a better job of that?
Well, initially I thought that Amy Coney Barrett, the woman, the sole woman in consideration, might be his pick, but I'm hearing, Joe, that it's going to be Kavanaugh. But Donald Trump's so unpredictable that at 6 o'clock Eastern time, when you and I are going to be broadcasting, he could change his mind. So predictions, they don't really do much, but I'm hearing that it's Kavanaugh.
Bill, let's hop for a second because it is a busy week for the president. Let me lob a softball at you. NATO summit, he's going to be meeting with our allies and friends. Are you bothered that this president does sort of whack our allies and whack NATO upside the head as often as he does?
I wouldn't do it the way he does it, but the points that President Trump is trying to make are certainly valid. I mean, why are we paying 64% of the entire NATO budget? One country.
Bingo. Yeah.
You know, we're over here.
Yeah.
NATO's over there. Why are we picking up 64 and the Germans are paying like nothing? Nothing.
Yeah.
In an affluent country like that. So he's right. Pay more. Pay more. Pay your fair share. And then the trade deficit is humongous with the EU. Humongous.
Yeah.
Let's even it out a little bit. So President Trump always uses the hammer, always, when he's trying to intimidate people, and that's certainly what he's trying to do with the EU. I don't think I'd use the hammer so much. I put the facts out, and I go, you know what? We're going to make them an offer they can't refuse from The Godfather. And I try to do more diplomacy before I really drop the sledgehammer on their head.
So Bill O'Reilly, by week's end, he's going to be sitting down with Vladimir Putin. And I got to be honest, my friend, he has not thrown down the hammer on Putin much. What do you expect to come out of this meeting?
Another PR situation.
Yeah.
But here's something really interesting. Putin didn't show up for the World Cup when Russia was in it. Didn't show. It's like 6 blocks away from his house. What? What? You don't show up? Got to be a reason for that. Putin loves the camera, loves the attention. Only 2 reasons. 1, he thought he might get booed by his own folks. Or 2, there's something the matter with him. No other reason that Putin wouldn't show up to watch the World Cup game. Now, they lost. Russia lost to Croatia. But where was he? So that I want everybody to keep in mind. Number 2, the exposition in Singapore worked so well for Donald Trump that this is exposition 2 in Helsinki.
Yeah.
So what do we know about North Korea and Singapore? Nothing. We know that they might dismantle their nukes, maybe, but they might not.
Maybe.
All right? But the attempt worked for Trump. Now I expect Trump and Putin to say, oh, well, we're going to cooperate on a number of different issues, but I can't see Putin stopping his agitation. I can't see him stopping it, even though it would be good for his country. It would help the Russian economy if he did stop. But he's so awful. What an awful human being he is. But I don't see him stopping.